everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So it's long overdue, but we are going to take a look at the Chris Christie campaign, take a look on who Chris Christie is, a part of our Know Your Candidate 2024 Candidates series. Who is Chris Christie, and is he fitting for the presidency of the United States? So we're going to take a look today, look at his electoral history from 1994 to 2016, and kind of get a picture of what his campaign, what he would probably look like in the campaign. Starting off is in 1994. Christie runs in the Morris County Board of Commissioners. And you'll see here that Christie is the popular choice in the Republican primary. He wins 16% in first place, along with J.C. O'Keefe with 14%, Frank J. Drutzler at 14%. So it was Christie, O'Keefe, and Drutzler that managed to get nominated by the Republican Party in this Republican Party primary for Morris County. You'll see that the only incumbent that advanced was Frank J. Drutzler. Edward A. Tam and Cecilia G. Lares, two incumbents, couldn't make it through the primaries. They lost their jobs on the spot in the primaries. So they got beaten down. Once again, you get tired of them. So you can't be a freeholder forever. So you get kicked out. So really, your mind depends. So Christie wins the nomination, and he advances to the general election, where along with him and O'Keefe and Drutzler, they face off the two Grants and Landfield. And you'll see here, Christie manages to perform a good margin of 23%. Now, I would say he underperformed a little bit. Well, I mean, he did pretty good. O'Keefe managed to seize the number one spot. However, as Christie was bumped down to number two. However, Christie got a 23% margin, just like O'Keefe, with that set amount of votes. 1995, you'll see Christie now decides he's going to run in the New Jersey General Assembly. He runs to the Republican Party primary, I should say, and he fails. Instead here, Michael Patrick Carroll and Anthony Bucco manages to get nominated by the GOP. So defeated in the 1995 primary. In 1997, you'll see he runs in another county. He runs in another primary. He attempts now to go back to his old job, to be a part of the board of chosen freeholders for Morris County. You'll see that kind of leaving that board of freeholders was a big mistake for Christie. He fails to get in. He manages to lose re-election. Not re-election, but he left, and now he wants to go back in. He gets 15% of the popular vote. He's now in last place. John C. O'Keefe tries to get his job back. I believe his old job back, and he gets defeated. Instead, John J. Murphy seizing first place. Frank J. Drutzler, the incumbent, and Cecilia G. Lares, they get nominated by a 26% here. 2009 would be a big year for Christie. Now, Christie attempts, despite being a part of the Morris County Board of Commissioners, let's be honest here, Christie is coming from a very low position. I mean, usually governors, state politicians are like state senators or state representatives, but we got a county official here. So the county official, Chris Christie, wants to run for governor of New Jersey. And you'll see here, we're going to. So 2009 New Jersey gubernatorial election, you'll see. It's a close race. But first, let's take a look at the primaries. Republican. Oh, that's a Democrat, I believe. Here we go. So Christie manages to defeat his two opponents, Steve Longren and Rick Merkt. Chris Christie managed to win by a 55% margin against his opponents. That's pretty good. Easily, despite being a county official, beating two, I believe, unpopular individuals. Chris Christie was nominated. You'll see in the map here, he does pretty well. Wins every county except for the Republican conservative west of New Jersey. Down here is very conservative. So he's pretty popular in the urban areas for sure. And in the actual election, you'll see that Chris Christie manages to defeat Governor John Corzine by a pretty good margin of 4%. He manages to carry a lot this area, which is compacted with the Philadelphia metro. I think this county has Trenton. No, wait, this county does. Never mind. This part, he manages to carry all the areas over here. Can't carry Camden County for some reason, despite being pretty rural. There is also the New York Metro up here, influenced by New York. He manages to do pretty good up there, too. So, yes, Christie manages to defeat Governor John Corzine by a margin of 4%, and people seem to like it. And yeah, he barely carried these areas to, sure, like these areas, but there's also a third-party runner, Christopher Daggett, was also in the run. So that was 2009. Now Christie is governor. Now Chris Christie is running for re-election 2013. Chris Christie re-election effort, and it manages to go very well for him. He manages to win renomination by 91% of the victory margin, pretty much unopposed. Seth Grossman ran against him, but did obviously pretty bad. I mean, and plus, Chris Christie had a very good approval rating in New Jersey here. So winning every single county here in New Jersey. And he manages to destroy and easily gets renominated. He manages to even break some counties aligned with the New York Metro, which, so yeah. So you'll see, Chris Christie really killed it in this election. He managed to strengthen the Trenton metro area, even areas were very like a part of the Philadelphia metro went strongly for him. It was just these two counties. This county right here, too close to New York City. I don't think it's breakable. This one too. So yeah, these are two Democrat strongholds. But then again, Chris Christie really killed it in this election, defeating Barbara Bono by a margin of 60%. And then you'll see the 2016 presidential primaries. And you'll see this is how it all goes. We have Donald Trump beating Christie by a very big margin, 44%. That's a pretty good performance in the primaries. Ted Cruz coming in second, but I'm going to jump all the way down to the third to last, and that's Christie, who got a margin of 0.18%. And I think that says a lot on the overall performance. And sure, I'd say, wow, Christie, he barely got in. He got a margin of 0.18%. That's not really good. Okay, sure, Chris Christie did an overall kick butt in the 2013 gubernatorial election in New Jersey. I would be like, oh, New Jerseyans would love him. No, I mean, Donald Trump seized all the attention. Ted Cruz, who's been in the Senate, he managed to bump up into second place. Yeah, Chris Christie, 0.18%. That's not even 1%. That just 57,637 votes overall in the United States. So, not a good performance for the governor. And he, of course, goes and endorses Trump, a big Trump ally and supporter of Trump through the 2016 and 2020 election. He also begins campaigning for Trump also. However, becomes a Trump critic after you know what, and now is running against Trump in the 2024 presidential election. So, can Chris Christie do an overall better performance like he did 8 years ago? Well, I mean, Donald Trump is coming off stronger than ever. We see him going ahead in the polls. So it's very possible. I think Christie would get like a 1%. And that's all I personally think. Yeah. I mean, I have seen no Chris Christie supporters. No, I have seen, I believe I'm 2 Nikki Haley supporters, but no Chris Christie supporters. And the fact that he is now attacking Trump on this, he's pulling a Liz Cheney, and the Liz Cheney is ultimately going to lead to your downfall, especially in the primaries. So yeah, Chris Christie as a Hutchinson needs to watch out. The Chris Christie move, I mean not the Chris Christie move, the Liz Cheney move of anti-Trump, that can very, very hurt you in the primaries, because you're basically exposing sympathy to the other side. You're basically and this goes for everybody, even Democrats included. You don't want to elect a simp for the other candidate. You don't want to elect a simp, someone that sympathizes for the other side. People tend to be very weak. Yeah, sure, you're stabilizing and centralizing and unifying the country more, but you want to make sure that your party prospers, your party is doing good, and your party and your people and your politicians are winning elections and doing all that. So Chris Christie, not a rhino. Asa Hutchinson, not a rhino. Just anti-Trump. They think they can do a better job. Well, I personally think, okay, Trump has become the center of the Republican Party. They better be careful what they say. They don't want to get, otherwise, these debates and these commentary can really hurt them as a result. Anyway, thank you all for watching this political episode, and I'll see you all in the next one.